Thanks to our sponsor, donedeal.ie, we bring you Business Bites, the best bits of that great business show, served up in individual servings.
Done Deal Motors is home to Ireland's largest range of new and premium used cars. That's why you'll find cars from Audi and BMW dealerships on Done Deal. Are you looking for a 7-seater to accommodate your growing family? Maybe you're after a luxury saloon to make a statement. We have the car for you. You'll also find Ireland's largest range of electric cars to help you make the switch. Visit donedeal.ie today to start the search for your next car.
From episode 137, super marketer Maryrose Lyons gives a ChatGPT 101, the AI solution that is going to save your business a truckload of money and admin hassle. Next, we are talking ChatGPT. Now, we did do this before. And before you touch that dial thinking, this isn't for me, well, just don't touch the dial because it is for you. ChatGPT is going to fundamentally change how you promote your business, no matter how big or small. And the good news, it's going to take a vast amount of mundane donkey work out of your business admin. In business, every day's a school day, and today's word of the day you are going to learn is prompts. Prompts or requests to ChatGPT like, give me some ideas for blog posts, write a minute-long script, write a product description for my product or service. Now, we here are launching our third new podcast in a fortnight's time, and we have been working with Bobby Byrne and his colleagues at Ringer Creatives, our go-to creative agency, on this project. We'll have Bobby in to talk about the podcast, explaining how they have used ChatGPT to create some of our new collateral material, and it is absolutely fascinating. But on this episode, we have Maryrose Lyons of Brightspark. She calls herself a future-focused marketer because of her ability to identify emerging trends and technologies, and Maryrose has switched her business focus from social media marketing to UX and AI, particularly something called generative AI. And Maryrose is here with me. So welcome to that great business show, Maryrose.
Thank you very much for having me, Connell.
I don't know where to start, but let's just start. For anybody who just feels like, oh, ChatGPT is not for me, tell them it is for you and it's now.
It is for you and it's now, and don't just take my word for it. Bill Gates himself came out about 6 weeks ago in early 2023, and he said there has been some seminal moments that have pushed forward digital tech. One of them was the invention of the home computer, which you might remember.
Nope.
Hands over head. No.
Denying it. No.
Another one was the invention of the graphical user interface, you know, when we could drag and drop things into trash cans and the like. Another one was the invention of the internet. And the fourth great one happened on the 30th of November, 2022, with the launch of ChatGPT. Generative AI is here, and it's really changing the way we work. And it's only a couple of months old.
No. You better start enticing people to listen to you by telling them how it is going to change their world. Big, small, it really is fascinating. I am using it. And as I mentioned, Bobby Byrne of Ringer's Creative is using it. Millions, billions of people are using it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, ChatGPT itself was the fastest growing app to reach 100 million users, which it did in just a couple of months. And like by comparison, things like WhatsApp and Instagram took about 7 or 8 years to reach those kind of numbers. So I love when I meet people who are on it saying, what's your user case? You know, how have you used it? And you told me a few choicey stories, Connell, about how you've been using it. And it's just amazing.
Well, take your cases, please. And we'll stick with anonymity if you so wish for your clients. But if you want to actually tell us who or what they are, I'd love to hear them.
Yeah, sure. Well, essentially, like there's so many ways you can use ChatGPT, but what I focus on is how marketers can use ChatGPT, because I am a marketer and I love also apps and tools, and I've pretty much built my business around being an adopter of really good technology that will help me do better and get better results for my clients. So I'm on this, so it naturally appeals to me. And everybody speaks about, in the marketing sense, about how you can use it to write blog posts and write emails. And yes, you can do that. But before you even do that, you can actually go in to research entire markets, and it'll give you ideas on how to market your business and how to segment your audience that you may not have come up with.
And it's so quick. We're not talking about spending
instant.
minutes. It's mad.
I know. Well, one of my problems, one of my kind of objections, if I may, with ChatGPT 4, which is the latest version that came out in March 2023, is that they kind of slowed down the pace that you get the results at. So I actually went back to 3.5 because I actually get a little kick when I ask it a question and like, there's my answer, and it's come out in like a fraction of a second.
M-A-D, how fast? Give me an example of something that you might have searched and how quick it answered.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I was asked if I would put together a course about launching a product, and I went, okay, cool. So I literally went in through a sequence of questions or prompts to get the right kind of answer.
See how we're using it already?
Absolutely. So I went through a sequence of prompts to get out what I needed. So the thing is, I knew kind of what I was looking for. So I am a marketer. I am not worried about my job being replaced. Okay, I'm the controller of the AI. So I went in and I prompted it and I said, okay, you are and I told it who it needs to assume the identity of. And then I copied and pasted this client's About Me page and I dropped it in. So the ChatGPT knew who I was writing for. And then I said, imagine you are and I gave it a title, Global Marketing Director, and you are launching a new co-branded card with a sports club. What would be the topics that need to be included in your market segmentation? And I'm like, okay, fine. Now, there was...
By you mean...
It gave me 7 and I asked, can I have 13? I like odd numbers.
How quick?
Oh, like instantly. But it's not the speed, it's the actual quality of the result. And I looked at it and I went, wow. And I said, okay, now can I have a list of unmet needs of these segments, and can you put a witty title on them? And then immediately it started bringing these segments to life and was naming the kind of problems and issues that people have, say, with using co-branded credit cards. So immediately I know the kind of content themes I need to put into the client's content. So it can go further. So then what I did was I went over onto the client site and I took a whole lot of Google reviews for this client. And then I dropped that over into ChatGPT and I said, give me the main themes. I said, these are Google reviews. Give me the main themes that come out in these. So it gave me like a list of 10 themes. And then I said, so match the language of the themes to the segments I've just created. It did that. And then I said, write me out some social media, Facebook, Instagram ads. It took me about 8 minutes.
And
honest to God.
There's the F word. Do you know what our favourite F word is?
No.
Free.
Oh, the free. Oh, I love free. Listen, I always say I'm all about free and cheap. I'm cheap and easy, I'll tell you.
This is free.
Well, it is and it isn't. And it's...
Well, the basic is.
No, but this is what I really like about it, okay? So it is free, but then if you want to pay for it so that your ChatGPT doesn't fall over at lunchtime when the Americans come into work, you can pay €22 a month. Now, what I love about it is, and this is very much back to the kind of the open source kind of vibe of the originators, is that just because you pay, you don't get more data. You get exactly the same results as somebody on free. The only thing you're paying for is that it doesn't fall over.
And how easy is it to begin using, and how do you begin using it?
It's easy enough. Like, well, I suppose it's like... you could liken it to the early days of the web. You know, how easy is it to find, oh, look, I can find the local newspaper. Oh, look, and you can find answers. And right now in ChatGPT, you could go in and put in a fairly generic prompt like, write me a blog post about digital marketing. It's going to give you something crap that you don't want to use, you don't want to put your name to, and that will damage your brand if you do that. However, the skill is, it's about, as I say, being the controller of the AI. So it's about prompting it correctly. And when you see an answer going, that's not really there, and then saying, like one of my choicey prompts is to say, be more creative. Don't be afraid to give an unusual answer.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
I've got loads of these prompts in my handbag. So basically, it'll do that. So given your direction. And then what you need to do is you take it out of ChatGPT and you bring it over to whatever you're going to post it as a blog post or whatever. And then you need to add in, some customer testimonials or some visual or some really nice bits that will round it off and make it uniquely yours. So at the end of the day, I'm telling people who come to my course where I teach them all these prompts, expect to get about 90% of it in 2 minutes. from ChatGPT, and then you have to go in and do the rest.
Which is no harm. I mean, it's kind of
enjoyable.
Yeah, and it's putting your stamp on it.
Yeah.
You, as I said at the very beginning, you are a futurologist on all of this. Where is this going to go and when?
Wow, that's a really good question. Well, what I know to be true is that I have never seen a take-up or an interest in getting on board with something as I've seen with this.
Such as? Give me an example of what you have seen.
Okay, well, ChatGPT number 3. ChatGPT came out on the 1st of December, and I was on it. I was actually delivering the last module of a training course to hospitality hoteliers. And I went, oh, look, there's this new thing that came out, and I kind of demoed it, and just mouths were hanging to the ground. It was just like, wow. So that was in December. So in January, I spent a lot of time looking at the training courses that I deliver in digital marketing and taking a lot of enjoyment of stripping out all the things that we humans no longer need to do. And then I said, okay, I'll just kind of roll out a training course. And that sold out. And then I rolled out a second one, and that sold out. And then I've got a third one going. Now, I'm great at doing training, but I've never sold out fully. They all sold out before I left early bird pricing as well. So I've sold out 3 training courses.
That's bad business. You should have got
I know. I'm learning. I'll tell you, for anyone looking, I'll be moving the early bird to be open for like 5 hours practically. But then I've also started getting inquiries from membership groups. People like the Employment Recruitment Federation. They have now hired me to deliver this training to their members. I've got quite a lot of financial groups. Everybody wants it because they know that this is not going away. It's here and you need to be on it.
And what about the things to avoid? Is there such a thing, or is
Oh gosh, yeah, there is something to avoid. Well, I would say actually, sort of, if anyone's listening who has used it or is into it, like, so I'm normally listening to this when I'm out walking and I'm nodding my head. So
this being the podcast, not just anything else, the podcast.
Yes, yeah. When I'm listening to the pod and I'm walking down by the banks of the Shannon and I'm nodding my head, I would say to you people who've used ChatGPT, when you see a lot of these kind of lists that are kind of appearing on LinkedIn, this is the ultimate set of tools you're ever going to use. And I kind of get quite sort of, FOMO. Oh my God, I have to test all of those tools and I have to make sure I'm not missing out on any of them. What I find when I test them, because I'd be quite diligent about doing that, is that many of these best ofs lists, the tools haven't even gone out live yet. Like it's just a landing page. Or the tools, when I have used them, they're not great. Their user experience isn't great. So the first piece of advice I would say is you don't have to use all the tools. We're in a hype cycle right now. It's like early days of social media, which I've lived and worked through. There's like loads of apps coming out. Everyone's in this space. There's been so much, funding in this space. And now they're hoping to kind of come to the fore and win. Is you don't have to be on top of everything, but you do need to be on top of the tools that you do choose to use. So choose an image creator tool that you like and become really good at it. And choose a GPT or a text-based tool that you like and become really good at that too.
What about the other contenders or the competitors of GPT?
Yeah, well, there's loads. There's other...
But they're not great, are they?
Well, yes, they are. One of the ones I love is actually, there's a tool called Jasper.
I've heard of.
Yeah.
I haven't used it.
Well, that's kind of more for teams. So the way you're on GPT, I'm on GPT, and all my searches are on mine and yours are on yours. So imagine we're a team and we're trying to work together to grow a business and we need to be sharing information. And also imagine we're bringing, say, 4 new hires in and we want them to write in our tone of voice, which is obviously fantastic and articulate. But these new people, we don't know if they're going to do that. With Jasper, it's team-based so that we can all see what the other one's done. And then you can teach it to learn your particular brand tone of voice.
Well, that's useful, isn't it?
Yes, it's lovely. And at an agency level, if you're running an agency, you can have several different, let's say they call them projects. So you can have one project for one client that's in one tone of voice. And then you could have another project for your scientific client, which is in a scientific tone of voice. And then you can have your, food product, which is in a more friendly tone of voice.
Now, did you, Maryrose, tell me about a client of yours or somebody that you know who has taken a vast amount of admin out of their business?
Yes, I think what you're getting at here is like the time saving. Okay.
Yes.
So,
which everybody wants.
Irish businesses, whenever you speak to them at the start of a project and go, what do you want? They either want to save money or save time. Well,
that's life.
This gives you everything. It's free and you save loads of time.
How do you save time?
Okay, so when you think about the kind of standard kind of time-consuming tasks in, say, the marketing function, okay, a large part of it is in the area of content creation, okay, and not enough time, in my opinion, goes into the area of distributing or repurposing your content. So if you've got a really good piece of video, turning that into a long-form blog post, turning it into snippets, turning it into, you know, small little reels, like getting value for money.
Takes
so much time. I know.
Yes.
Not anymore, my friend.
Because?
Well, there's tools for it. Like, so one of the tools I love is called repurpose.io. And that's an AI that literally you would do amazing out of it. You connect all of your different platforms and you would basically take, for example, say audio or video from one bank and you'll say, I want to repackage this for Reels. It will resize it. It will choose the snippets that it thinks will work well on Reels, and you just go approve, and you can either publish it immediately or schedule it for the future.
You see, I'm old school, and I do worry.
You want to do
wonder,
it yourself manually?
Well, I don't want to do it manually, but you know,
I'll be
are
down
they
the beach,
choosing? Are they choosing? It's a bit like choosing. It started now on this podcast is that there are tools that will choose the best bits for you, but.
You want to do that.
I'm the editor. I like choosing, and I think I know better than AI as to what people actually want to hear.
Well,
maybe I'm wrong.
I totally agree with you. Okay, I am that cantankerous person who knows everything as well.
However,
no, however, I at the start of this year started saying to myself, "Oh God." I know it writes really well, but I'm sure my years of experience writing, I do a lot of paid social ads, okay? I've been doing it since 2017, so I know how to write really good ad creative. So I was kind of going, I'm going to put ChatGPT against my brain with my client permission. And I did that. And then I do like maybe 4 or 5 versions of creative and ChatGPTs would win. And I go, I'll just do it for a totally different segment. And I've actually got to the point now, I'm not testing myself against it anymore because the numbers are better.
Or or whatever it is,
it wins.
Is better.
Well, somebody told me that it's actually a male. Yeah, it was really interesting.
How can it be a male?
Well, it's tested on that, and there's a really good Mark Schaefer blog post about how he got to the bottom of the sex of ChatGPT, and he worked it. So actually, when you get an answer, here's another really good prompt. When you get an answer and it's just not quite right there, you can say, now write it like a female, and it writes it more emotively.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. But even just back to the kind of like, I'm better and I want to be the editor. Recently, I had to get some emails into the hands of fairly sort of senior decision makers. I did an email subject line, which I thought, yeah, that's really good. And then, of course, being a good marketer, I A/B tested and I got ChatGPT to do them. Well, ChatGPT got a 70% open rate.
And for those who do not know, that is
Massive.
VAST. It's vast.
I normally get about 40 myself.
Yeah, which is very good.
Thank you very much.
But 70% is nuts.
Yeah. So I can't as a, you know, you can't say, oh, I'm going to keep on doing things myself when you know that there's a thing there that'll do it better.
It's a man.
Like
you told me it was a man. It's a man.
It's a man. It's a man. Okay, fine, it's a man. But like, you know, like if you had an accountant and the accountant said, now look, I know there's spreadsheets, but we prefer to do things not with spreadsheets because that's how we were trained. You wouldn't really trust them that much and you'd walk away. That's how we're going to go with marketing content, at least before the end of this year. And you can take me back at the end of this year and tell me, I told you so.
And when you say that, that's only a couple of months away.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Half a year, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, in Ireland, nobody does anything in July and August. So it's really only like about 6 months away.
So Christmas will be a GPT Christmas. Before I let you go, Maryrose Lyons of Brightspark. Who would you hire in a heartbeat?
Oh, well, I've got quite a few people on this team.
She's got a list. She's got a team.
Hang on. Exactly. I've got a team. Well, actually, I would hire, okay, first of all, Kieran Flanagan, okay, one of our own. He was the ex-head of marketing for HubSpot, Northern Irish guy, went off to the States, and now he's the CMO of Zapier, and he has this amazing podcast called Marketing Against the Grain that I listen to. alongside him, I'd have a guy called Matthew Sweezy. Matthew's job for about 13 years was working for Salesforce, helping them forecast the future and how to position the business. He's an amazing thinker.
I love those people.
Oh, I love people like that.
Yeah.
But I'd fill it out with also, I'd have a whole lot of creatives from that I'd get from Peter and Una at the Indie List, because they are the source of all talent in Ireland. Peter McPartland, yeah. And Una. And then I would have coverage about this from Tom Lyons.
You did write all of this,
Yeah, I
didn't
did.
you?
I actually thought about it.
Sorry, I interrupted. Tom Lyons.
Tom Lyons from The Currency would be the one who'd break the story of this new product or service.
What about
to.
Conal O'Moran on the That Great Business Show?
Would you be getting an exclusive naturally? Natch. Yeah, so that'd be it really, I think. Yeah, that'd be it. And me, obviously.
But of course. So you are going to come back in 6 odd months.
I'd love to.
And you are going to tell us about the adoption, because it is so
rapid.
Back to just a final for anybody who wants to. Where do they even start? You go and you Google
openai.com.
And that brings you.
That will bring you into OpenAI, which is an open source. Okay, so sort of like the good guys, an open source website. And there you will see a thing saying try ChatGPT. So you click that, you sign up. They don't do anything awful with your data or anything like that. We're talking Web 3 here, not Web 2.0. And and basically you just type in some questions and it's amazing. And there's so many user cases, like there's code, there's medicine, science. I'm just talking about good old content marketing.
But it's for everything and everybody.
Everything and everybody.
Including students writing their essays, but that's a different story. Anyway, that was Maryrose Lyons of Brightspark Marketing or Brightspark Consulting. And you'll find her all over LinkedIn if you're looking for her. And she will be posted on the podcast tomorrow.
Done Deal Motors is home to Ireland's largest range of new and premium used cars. That's why you'll find cars from Audi and BMW dealerships on Done Deal. Are you looking for a 7-seater to accommodate your growing family? Maybe you're after a luxury saloon to make a statement. We have the car for you. You'll also find Ireland's largest range of electric cars to help you make the switch. Visit donedeal.ie today to start the search for your next car.
De facto shaving oil, made only from natural oils. Nothing nasty on your skin.
This interview was first posted on episode 137 of That Great Business Show. Essential listening for anyone interested in an easier life at work. For more great business insights, listen back to our entire back catalogue of That